It's a beautiful day. We finally fixed the fountain, so I'm going to show it to you. Sorry I didn't upload a review to Before the Flood. I spent most of Columbus Day cleaning the basement, and yesterday working on a paper. You know, I mentioned I was making a paper about Hatshepsut. I waited until my proposal was graded to actually start working on the rough draft, which is really stupid of me. I was basically at the deadline for when the rough draft was due. I realized quickly that my topic didn't have as much evidence as I thought it would. In fact, I started to find a completely different topic which made a lot more sense. Instead of talking about Hatshepsut's more peaceful type of reign would have extended Egypt, I decided I'd talk about how Ramses II's long reign, which resulted in future pharaohs being older and unable to continue these wars to keep down their neighboring countries, was what ended Egypt. The fact that, his reign was so long, he had over 100 kids. Wow. By the time that he finally stepped down, the next king was already about 60. So we went from Egypt having these really young kings to these really old kings, which fundamentally changed the way that Egypt interacted with the rest of the world. Think about their afterlife, the way they spent their time, what they valued. Egypt was an incredibly optimistic nation. So I spent all of yesterday realizing that my paper had to change and then writing it and submitting it. I sent you a copy. You gave me some pretty darn good evidence that will help me once I'm submitting the final draft. And because of the things that are going on this weekend, I will not be able to make that review, so I'm gonna talk about it right now. Very good episode, great episode. I love the way they used time travel and that opening. That opening. Remember in my history of the Doctor Who theme video? Hang on, I'm gonna stick you on this tree. No, I'm not. I think I'm gonna go up the tree. I need to shave. Anyway, right there is my good friend who I've been making in geography. This is Malcolm.
I can't climb trees.
He can't climb trees, apparently. So maybe I'll go down. But first, I'm gonna tell you a bit about Before the Flood. It was a very good episode. I loved the opening. You know how I mentioned in the history of the Doctor Who theme video that I didn't really think that guitar could work for the Doctor Who theme? I was wrong. I want this to be the theme. This needs to stick. This can't be just a one-off. I loved when the Doctor addressed to us, like when he was just talking to the camera about the bootstrap paradox, which is one of my favorite types of paradoxes. It's a good story by his bootstraps. I've been told that I need to check it out. I should check out By His Bootstraps. It's supposed to be a really good short story about time travel. I felt like the Fisher King, he didn't do much, but he was definitely impressive. The prop was gorgeous. Seriously, that was just a thing of beauty to behold. My biggest worry was that Clara would take charge, and something almost worse happened. Oh, stop zooming. Ow, my foot, my leg. Ow.
Only a question.
Ow, yeah. Good reference. No one really took charge. They were just kind of worrying about the phone, which didn't seem to have much bearing on the plot. Ow. The biggest thing that I loved from this episode was the scene just after O'Donnell died. And Bennett was talking to the Doctor about how the Doctor used her death as like to test his theory about Malcolm's currently holding it, about the order of the deaths. And it was just, there was this beautiful moment without dialogue. We saw into the Doctor's soul. This episode was so good. It wasn't quite as great as the last one, but it did some things we haven't seen before. With as much as Moffat loves this timey-wimey stuff, this is possibly one of the best uses of the bootstrap paradox in Doctor Who yet. So I give it a solid 8 out of 10, which means for both, I think I gave an 8 out of 10 to Under the Lake, so that's an 8 out of 10 for the two-parter. It is a quintessential, I'm stealing the line from the 5 Who fans, but yes, this is definitely a quintessential 12th Doctor story, one of my favorites, and I can't wait for the next episode. He's the guy who I've been sitting next to in geography, and he always goes to student life and brings cool stuff like soda and USB wristbands?
Yeah, I don't even have it today to show the camera.
That was Malcolm, who you'll probably be seeing a bunch more of in the future. I quite enjoyed your recent video, particularly this moment.
Oh my gosh, and it's so pretty.
It's a really pretty cover.
It is. Look.
The importance of being earnest.
I didn't know you were a fan of Oscar Wilde.
You never mentioned it.
That made me laugh out loud. This next weekend is going to be very interesting, and you'll hear all about it in my next video. But for now, I gotta go do some school, get ready for a test, edit this video, so I'm just gonna say goodbye.